Politicians and those in power pay very close attention. They take notice. If you want proof of this, I'd like to draw your attention to the 5 candidates that we have sitting with us here today. They're taking notice. Your engagement matters, and they're here because they want you to participate in the democratic process. And they're here to hear your questions. So today's debate will help you decide how you will cast your ballot on the day of our student vote, which is on October 17th. So please pay very close attention. The federal riding of Fleetwood Port Kells has 5 candidates running to represent you and your families in Ottawa. Today we have all 5 candidates joining us. And I want to briefly introduce each of them. Miss Annie Ohana is here representing the NDP. She's an award-winning, she's an award-winning anti-racism educator, an Aboriginal teacher advocate, a community organizer, a labor advocate, and a former colleague of mine at Madison. For the Green Party, we have Miss Tanya Berdal. Tanya spent several years as a financial administrator before becoming an interim CEO and business development lead for a technology startup company. Aside from running in this federal election, she's a full-time stay-at-home mom to her 2 daughters. Representing the Liberal Party is Mr. Ken Hardy. Ken has worked in broadcasting and is also the incumbent, so he's represented this riding since 2015. Representing the Conservative Party is Dr. Shinder Purewal. Shinder is a former citizenship judge of BC and Yukon Region. He also teaches political science at Kwantlen Polytechnic University. Finally, representing the People's Party of Canada is Mr. Mike Poulin. Mike is a value-based leadership consultant, and he has worked all over the world, and he lives here in Surrey with his wife. So thank you so much for taking the time to join us, candidates. Finally, I'd like to introduce our 2 forum and debate moderators. First, we have Miss Kasha Duff. You can clap. She's our newest VP at Fleetwood Park Secondary. And we have Tina Young. Tina is a grade 12 student here at Fleetwood Park and the president of the school's debate club. Finally, I want to acknowledge that all the questions for today's forum and debate come from you, the students in the audience. And I think that's what's most exciting about this morning. So on that note, I'm going to pass things over to our 2 moderators.
Good morning, thank you for being here. The first thing that we'd just like to ask each of you is just a quick opening statement. We're going to give you a minute and a half each just to talk whatever you want to say to open it up. So we'll go, let's go down the panel for this first one.
Good morning. First of all, thank you for organizing this. You may not be able to vote, you're under 18, but on October 17th, there is actually a debate going on whether we should reduce the age to 16, and you can decide that. My Canadian life began in grade 11 at PM, Princess Margaret Secondary. I was born and raised in a village, and I am really indebted to public education. There was a government school in our village. After the death of my father, I was only 1 month old. My mother could not have sent 4 of us to school if it was private, but let alone 4, not even 1. So here I was knowing very little English, and going to school, learning ESL at Queen Elizabeth in the evening, because PM at that time didn't have ESL classes. and going all the way to PhD because of the public education system. Is it over? But I can tell you one thing. If politicians governing either provincially or federally spend or misspend the money, it's a great danger to social programs like public education. So beware. Thank you.